VCR Redux will begin in T-minus 5 minutes.
What the fart is VCR Redux?
It's the show where we take movies from the VCR era and bring them back to today.
Well, how do we do that?
Well, we start by talking about a VHS classic, and usually you'll say something like,
I haven't been this uncomfortable since I watched Meatballs 4, Meatballs to the Rescue with my parents. Oh yeah, or you'll say something stupid like,
I wish we lived in a world where the Garbage Pail Kids made as many movies as the Muppets.
but I know you'll always see it through with a positive attitude.
I hate this movie, I hate being here, I hate all of this. Oh, Jamie Kennedy. Oh, well, shit. Well, let's go for this.
He was in Son of Mask. This is genius.
I am not a gamer. I'd rather read books. I'm just
Ian's like the old lady that's like, I got video game monsters, I got toy monsters in here.
As long as we respect the passion and the artistry that went into these films.
You know, obviously they took this movie, it's 93, right? And you're like, what do you want to see in your Mario movie? And they're like, oh, we want it to be grim, we want a lot of death, we want tits and ass.
Oh, and then we start the pitch ideas with modern day sequels like
Weekend at Bernie's 3, Cocaine Mountain.
Sometimes we take it kind of seriously.
I'll watch a Paul Verhoeven alien movie.
oh my gosh, that alien will have more vaginas than anything you've ever seen in your life. Sometimes this Hawaiian shirted fool will pitch something stupid like,
I would take out the virtual reality stuff and just have it be about Jeff Fahey mowing the lawn.
Sometimes the best pitches come from the live chat.
Alex Bonafonte also pitches Grand Theft Starfighter Vice Galaxy.
wait, I thought I had the best pitches.
And what happens at the end of the movie? The ultimate fart. The fart that the warmth goes like all the way down to your socks.
The only rules are, there are no rules. Sometimes we cross over franchises.
Only the truck from Tango and Cash can kill Christine.
And sometimes we travel back in time.
Like 1995 is missing a good Universal Soldier sequel.
But you never know what we're gonna pitch next.
What do you want? Do you want Daniel Stern behind like a muzzled mask? Like,
We all know it should be Pesci behind the mask, and like underneath the mask, you should hear him going like fritter, 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 fritter.
you are so proud of yourself for that one. I can't stand you.
I would also love to see a Charles Bronson version of It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
Direct to DVD.
If you made a shot-for-shot remake of Scarface with Goofy as Al Pacino, it would be amazing. Gosh, you need me to be the bad guy.
It's like the worst 1987 Disney movie Disney's ever made. Schlongo, directed by Jim Wynorski.
Like, I would watch a whole bowl of that.
Do the John Holmes story. Add a comedy spin to it.
Wow, the Wonderland murders are so funny.
I'd watch it on my mobile.
Something happens and he goes into a coma. He gets like, hit by a car or something. I know this is dark, but like, bear with me. He's got to go on.
Did you just go like Hard to Kill with Ferris Bueller?
I'd watch it on my iPad.
If you want to just like throw in the kitchen sink, it all works. Like Alien versus Predator versus RoboCop, like if that works. Alien versus Predator versus Terminator, that works.
Alien versus Predator versus Ernest, that works.
That works.
I respect everything you just said. I need David Silver and Terry Silver and the Sloan family all learning the Quicksilver, but they're doing it in Breakin' 3 Hydraulic Boogaloo. And it's underwater. It's gonna be incredible. Eat your fucking shit out, James Cameron. I got the underwater movie you can't touch.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mr. Toxie goes to Washington.
My ass would be in the theater tomorrow.
If Harley Quinn gets 7 movies, then Tank Girl should get at least 70.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, why should we even bother with Look Who's Talking when Air Bud is soaring to new highs?
All I know is I want Danny McBride.
I'd want him doing anything other than writing Halloween movies, honestly. Anything that keeps him away from that fucking job, I'm for it.
Just let him talk out of his butt. I don't care how he does it.
I'd rather not.
Austin Powers doing the Macarena.
That would be the opening credits. Come on.
But we have not yet had Die Hard on a half pipe. What if John McClane Jr. was a pro skateboarder and also an avid machine gun enthusiast? Skate or Die Hard.
episode of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2024. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, Crash Romeo Honey Red and Night Lover guitarist Stephen Anderson is back on the show.
Thank you. Hi. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for coming back. And rounding out this righteous crew, making his VCR debut, legendary Arnold voice actor and voice impression extraordinaire of GeekFireInk, Richard Zuniga is on the show.
Yes.
Guys, good to be here. And remember, be kind, rewind.
Holy shit.
We are not worthy, sir. We are not worthy.
Oh.
If that could not fool Arnold's wife, maid, and kids, I don't know what on this earth would. We are here today to get Cullen Crisp a manicure, to meet the party pooper, and to keep an eye on John Kimball's car, because this world needs Kindergarten Cop 2, and we're here to bring it to you. But before Ian starts to eat everyone else's gas station pizza, we got a dish on how Kindergarten Cop came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that goes double for you at home and everyone watching the live chat. Was it love at first Laserdisc, Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how Kindergarten Cop came into your lives. So, Rich, when did you first get Kindergarten Cop?
When it was released in 1990, my wonderful, beautiful parents were so supportive, and they knew I was a big Arnold fan, and they took me to the AMC Theater in Chino, California, and we watched it on opening night on that Friday, and that was the movie that got me hooked to Arnold. Yes!
Yeah, that is literally like the California dream of my life right now. Like, that's all I wanted my childhood to be. I was close. I think I was maybe in Florida, so it wasn't quite as wonderful as California when I first saw this. But if you don't mind me asking, roughly what age are we, at that time? Are we like, toddler, kindergarten age, grade school?
8 years old.
8 years old. Okay, so we're very, very close in age. Wow, yeah. So obviously 8-year-old Rich sees this and is like, 2 thumbs up, fantastic.
Mind blown at the charisma, at the story. The story was real. It was raw. He was still a cop. He was rough around the edges, and he had to learn to have a soft side in order to communicate with these kids and still get the job done and get the bad guy. So he really earned a lot of respect from me for that movie. Great movie.
Wow, that is that's like a review quote that belongs on the back of the VHS box if I've ever heard one.
Right? Zuniga
so Steve, Zuniga says, yeah. So Steve, when did you first get Kindergarten Cop?
So I'm gonna. I think this is all kind of speculative theory here, but I've mentioned this on the show before. At one point or another, I would find an actor when I was younger, when I was a kid, and like see one of their movies, and then have to go through the entire catalog, like have to try to find everything that they had done. And I know at one point I sat down and wound up watching Predator at a young age, and that was my Arnold thing. After that, I was like, everything he's done. I'm sure this came in to that pile there of Arnold movies that I probably all watched at the same time, which is why I tend to conflate some of these movies. And rewatching it, I gotta say, like, this is so much better than I remembered it being. It really is, yeah. Like, it's great. It's great all the way through. This is one of the highlights. Yeah.
Can I change something that I feel this universe is against Arnold for?
Sure.
Why does nobody acknowledge Raw Deal?
Oh, his trigger has all the answers.
I just saw that last week for the first time, and it's
for the first time. That's when you saw it.
Yes,
it is Raw. We're talking about Raw Deal here. Come on.
I never saw Raw Deal because Commando was my cheesy Arnold, and I focused on that. And I saw that, I swear, and I was crying, laughing so much about you should not drink and bake. I'm like, what, dude?
It's funny. I don't know if he stole that from Tom Hanks or Tom Hanks stole that from him now, but that's a line from Bachelor Party, I think. Don't drink and bake. Or no, that's a line from Family Ties. Alcoholic Uncle Ned on Family Ties,
which is also played by Tom Hanks, yeah.
Yes, which is, I'm confusing my Hanks. I get that, I cross the streams every now and again in my mind. I apologize.
Dude.
So I'd have to say mine is probably Red Heat. I can enjoy Red Heat anytime.
Red Heat, see, we grew up in a Belushi household, and I mean a James Belushi household, not even like a John Belushi household. To me, there was so much like James Belushi Chicago paraphernalia around my house that like John
right.
Belushi was his brother that I discovered when I was like 10 years old. You know what I mean?
That's the
But
best quote ever, right there.
But that's a story for another day. Although I gotta say, the best Belushi cameo in Last Action Hero, just talking about his girl, like Arnold really turns her on, and I just want to be there when it happens. Like classic cameo. But when did Ian first get Kindergarten Cop? Because we're about the same age. So
yeah,
was this live in kindergarten era?
No, well, no. I mean, this is probably a couple years after. I mean, it's definitely early 90s, but I feel like this is definitely. I don't remember exactly. I want to say it's probably. Actually, you know where I think I know I rented it from the Wellman Public Library. I know that. I know this is one of the ones that I read, but I think that's because I saw it first on USA Network. Was the first place that I saw a Kindergarten Cop.
USA did
great
because it's a Universal, and Universal was definitely either they owned USA Network or they channeled a lot of material to USA. But Kindergarten Cop was on a lot.
There has to be some. I'm sure Seagram's or whatever it was that was buying everything up in the 90s bought both. I know Seagram's bought Universal around like 97, so. Maybe it's prior to that, but there was definitely a lot of Universal jams or Universal joints, I should say.
Yeah, but I loved, and I loved it. And I do remember after seeing, because I grew up, we had a recording of Twins, and that was kind of like the Always Arnold. But I do remember about the time I saw Kindergarten Cop, I was very excited for Junior.
Oh wow! Yeah, so you were like way late to the party then.
Yeah, because I was like, "Oh, this is funny," and there's another funny Arnold movie coming out.
I hate to do this, Professor, but you get an F for that.
Well, I know, because then I saw Junior and remembered why.
That's the problem when you see all these movies.
Why go back to Red Heat?
His comedies of around this time period are not. Most of them are a little lackluster.
Let's just say Junior makes Red Heat look like Red Dawn, or it makes Red Heat look like Citizen Kane or something.
Was Last Action Hero considered comedy?
Yes.
Last Action Hero is incredible. I love Last Action Hero. I think it's so.
That's not what he asked.
But is it considered comedy?
Yeah, I mean, would you put it in the comedy section or is it in the action section? I mean,
it's like a family adventure action comedy.
Yeah. That's
Last Action Hero is how I feel the world reacted to American Werewolf in London. That whole like, well, is it too funny to be horrific?
Yeah, what is it?
Funny. It's like, is it too funny to be an action movie, or is it too?
No.
That
like
movie
Commando is funny, but that's just pure action.
Unintentionally funny, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Nonetheless, the world praised American Werewolf in London and not so much Last Action Hero. Half of that is a mistake, I think. But we'll get to that.
If you're interested, see our show on Last Action Hero, folks.
Yeah. But before, I'll get to my first time getting Kindergarten Cop. But before that, I do want to catch up with the live chat. I see Dustin Nino in there, Gold's Code, Michael Ricci's in there. I see Rand in there. I don't know if there's anyone else that's tuned in. They normally give me the names of everyone tuning in, but I don't see that in the chat today unless I'm missing it. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Dustin Nino saying, Dustin Nino of Retro Fiend Radio, again, the makers of the finest canon and martial arts stocks around. Him starting off the chat by saying, that is a man's mustache. And I couldn't agree more. That is the stash of stashes. So a staunch stash indeed.
Impressive.
Worthy of love. Gold's Code, the great
done.
Sean Gold says, I first saw this movie on VHS as a young lad, and I learned that everyone dies, what a tumor was, and that kids can make lasers to kill bad guys. Epic. I want to talk about everyone dying because Lowell from this is like maybe my favorite character, and the kid who's just obsessed with death and all the dark shit. Like everyone remembers Miko Hughes, the boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, but like that kid's got some dark shit going on. Like everybody dies, like did she die? Did they die? Like that kid's got a story to tell, even more so than Zach.
Which one was Jason Reitman?
Oh, that's the kid who's making out in the fire upstairs.
Yeah, he's the older kid. He looks like
I thought it was another drill. The braces kid. He's also the kid from Ghostbusters 2.
I remember him in Ghostbusters 2, but I couldn't remember if he was one of the young kids. But
no, he's not.
No. But at any rate, Michael Ricci says it looks like the kids are climbing on Ian. Rand says, I still think Kindergarten Cop Real Part 2 is End of Days. That's an interesting universe. We may get into some Arnold multiverse kind of stuff tonight. Gold's Code says, tell Arnold to say, Ian, you won't be back. So if you feel so kind as to oblige.
Ian, you won't be back.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's
Just,
so
like,
wild.
let's stop talking about this and just let you talk as Arnold this whole time.
I mean, this is, first of all, I am a guest. And every time I am in a guest in someone else's home, I treat it accordingly and I treat it with respect. All right. But if you give me the torch, I will take it and I will run down the street and I will be screaming and people will be jumping out of windows and it is going to be fantastic. So it is all... It is all up to you on how much you want me to speak.
Look, can I just...
We are not worthy.
Can I just ask...
Incredible.
Can you say to hell with you, Crom?
I am not a praying man. I have no tongue for it. But if you do not listen, then to hell with you.
It's like,
oh my God.
And if
Incredible,
thank you so much. I'm just going to shut up the rest of the night.
Right? Jeez.
Like me, I could speak like Stewie Griffin. I could do all kinds of voices. It is great, fantastic.
Oh, you could do Stewie Griffin. I might be able to pull a Cleveland out of my ass if I can still do that one. That was actually one of the few voices I could do back in the day.
Oh, I hate to break it to you, but I also have a Cleveland Brown because I used to live on Spooner Street with all of his shenanigans.
Don't do it now,
man.
Chris.
I'm not even going to try. Yeah, now I'm not even going to fucking bother.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You out of the box now.
The only family guy I got left in me now is like, I noticed some of y'all have soda pops under your chairs. That's all right. Soda's all right by my watch. But all right, we are here again to get copped of the kindergarten variety. So I first saw this. I was actually in kindergarten. I was on spring break in Florida. And this is a hotel like pay-per-view of like probably the first time that there was that kind of technology in motels and hotels where you could be like, yeah, I'm staying in a $10 a night little place, and yeah, why not? You know, double the stay so I can get kindergarten cop. And I was blown away. I was like, that's the kind of thing that always made I didn't like to travel. I was a homebody as a kid. So being able to rent like a new Arnold movie and watch it in the hotel room was incredible. And yeah, like I just love this movie. I've loved it ever since. It's one I go back to fairly regularly. Like, you know, it's in the rotation like Commando and Predator and Terminator and all the classics. It's one of the, you know, Total Recall. It's, to me, it's
up there, man. It really is. Yeah. And you know
it really is up there.
I guess I knew this, but I didn't really think about it too much. Like back in the 2000s, we all know this, but the popular Arnold soundboard, like on the internet thing you can get, that's the one that really hit off, right? That's the one that everybody was messing with. They would have a soundboard of different Arnold quotes, and it's all.
And they just Kindergarten Cop was like the movie they mined the hardest.
For you young people out there used to be a thing called the interwebs, where we had to get on a computer and mess around with people.
And we thought it was amazing that someone had put on a soundboard that you could access and just press a button and hear different Arnold quotes and put them in whatever order you wanted to.
There's no TikTok videos.
And prank calls. It was kind of from the transition from the Jerky Boys to you know, whatever the YouTube era of the internet is, or you know,
our friends they would call my mom and leave her messages of Arnold Schwarzenegger and like
your mother.
Yeah. But yeah,
Richard didn't have the internet, but he could do it anyways. You know, he was just
I was on there, and everyone would email me going, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "No, mine is much better. This is crazy."
Another thing, I'm gonna stop payment on the check.
But the point is, that's 90% of this movie easily.
Part of that, I think, I've always theorized, is because this movie does not have that much score or source music, and not as much gunfights and gunplay as a lot of the other Arnold, you know, stuff. So there are a lot of scenes that are indoors. The dialogue is clean. It's easy to pull from. But also because the lines are so classic.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh
Who's your daddy and what does he? I'm not.
And I gotta say, like, I also have to shout out the great Richard Tyson who plays Crisp. I know Steve disagrees with me on this, but I think Cullen Crisp is one of the great Arnold villains. And if you really think of the key to the great Arnold movies, are that the ones that you remember the most, I think, or the ones that you're the fondest for, he was never just fighting another big hulking muscle guy. Like, it was always someone that was kind of opposite of Arnold in a way. Like he'd be up against Michael Biehn or Robert Patrick or Richard Dawson or, you know, Cullen Richard Tyson in this, who's like, I'm trying to get a manicure. You know, like him saying I'm getting a manicure and I have witnesses is fucking classic to me. And even just him being like, oh yeah, I know all about you, Kimball. You'll be eating takeout in that dump that you live in. Like little shit like that. I just believe
He would have been. He would have been.
guy.
He would have made for like a better side goon. He would have been like the guy they send out.
Oh, hard disagree, man. Richard Tyson is incredible.
Chris is a key to that movie, big time. I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
His back hair and his delivery is so cocky, and you, for Arnold, you have to have either a good, you have to have a good anti-Arnold. That's what you're getting at. There's like the guy with the chainmail on Commando.
Oh God, I did a Vernon Wells. I did a Q&A with him too. Incredible, Bennett. Yeah.
Bennett's a good anti-Arnold, you know, and so Sinbad's kind of the villain.
Yes.
Oh,
right. Yeah. That's
So
like
for those,
Phil Hartman too was a great anti-Arnold. Yeah.
So because I'm in the presence of Arnold royalty, and if there's any VCR super fans watching, Steve and I may or may not have taken place in a fake 80s hair band called Night Lover, where we actually wrote a love song called Let Off Some Steam, inspired by you and Bennett. And if that's not what America really is, folks, then I don't know what. But getting back to Kindergarten Cop, what are your, what is the ultimate staying power of this movie for you guys? Like, what is it as a, oh, there's an audio issue. How? Is it better now? I think I just saw my mic was loose. My mic cable may have gotten loose. Choppy, laggy, and everyone's roboting. Well, that's great. Maybe there's more viewers than normally happen. It can't like that. So again, for those who are watching,
we might have some of my people in there too.
I the voice of God who runs the show is in my ear right now, so we're having audio issues. I apologize if you can hear me. I apologize if you cannot. We're gonna try and hang tight for a second.
Hear it all the time.
I apologize if you can hear this shirt. Inspired by Arnold's Running Man collection.
I got a question. Why does this last? Well,
hold on. Let's before we dive into that, let's just wait to green light. I was gonna say we're gonna go on standby for a sec. Well, until we wait to get the green light from our producer, Captain Kyle. So, at any rate, I was sharing trivia. So I guess now it's good.
Look at my mom. The sound is not that good.
Oh no!
Sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for tuning in, though.
This never happens to us.
Of course.
Yeah, this actually. Okay, so we're still tweaking these audio issues. I apologize to everyone watching. This is the first, I think. We've had occasionally we'll have a guest with like an echo or headphones or something, but I don't think that would be the case. Okay, so we're gonna go real quiet for a second, and then we'll try and. All right, I think we are back, and hopefully our audio issues are in the past. I don't know where we left, but we were about to get into, I believe, some of the staying power of Kindergarten Cop. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have an idea why. I think the 90s, and I've talked about this before, but I think the 90s, every decade has has their thing when it comes to movies. You know, I mean, like the 70s had the me style, the 50s had the sci-fi horror, you know, the 80s, kind of was horror and science fiction. I think the 90s was the era of family comedy. You know, the family film. You know, the other day, my daughter and I were watching Dennis Menace. You know, I mean, very far apart, but it's like we watched Dennis Menace, and then before school lets out, I always show the Sandlot, and you know, Kindergarten Cop is absolutely within that realm. And I think all of us kind of grew up. You know, we all 90 movies were like things for us really do in growing up in the 90s. You know, watching those family films with parents and like Arnold. You know, it was in it. Your dad watched it with you, even though it wasn't that kind of Arnold that he probably likes.
But you know what, too? Like, this one has some edge to it. Like Arnold's maybe more manic in this than he is in half the action movies he's in.
It's a great time capsule movie too. Like I think of 1990, I think of Kindergarten Cop, Total Recall, Home Alone, and Rocky V, and I guess Dances with Wolves. But like that is 1990 in cinema.
Which one of these does not belong here on that list? There.
Well, I tell you, I would have happily seen any of these in the theater. But what did my parents drag me to? They dragged me to Dances with Wolves as a 5-year-old.
Don't hate Dances
I'm
with
traumatized.
Wolves.
I was traumatized until I was 7 years old. Audio is good now. I've been told. All right, so good. Sincere apologies
shut up.
about
you
that.
watched Avatar, so don't act like you don't like Dance with Wolves. You know,
it's good now. All right, thanks.
Hey,
Mom.
all right.
Okay. All right, Mrs. Zuniga, thank you so much for tuning in. And audio assist. Credit to Mom there.
Okay, Rich. Now you have to do all the Arnold stuff again. Just
no problem. That's why I am here.
This is my favorite episode we've ever done. We've barely gotten into it.
Yeah, right. So for Rich, for you, what is the ultimate staying power of Kindergarten Cop? Is it like
it's good? It's very simple. It's a good movie, and they don't make movies like this anymore because they paid attention to the script, they paid attention to the editing. Trust in Ivan Reitman, the creator of freaking Twins and Ghostbusters. He's got a track record. He's a good director. He's a good leader, and he knows how to corral Arnold. And you have to know how to corral Arnold as a director. James Cameron knew how to do it. And also, don't underestimate the power of Arnold's co-star. So Arnold's best movies, he has a great co-star that elevates his performance. Carl Weathers in Predator, Phil Hartman, Sinbad in Jingle All the Way, and the Catherine O'Hara character is phenomenal and extremely underrated. If you remove her from the formula, the movie doesn't work.
She's my favorite part of this movie. Yeah,
she's a female, and she was the one that was supposed to be the teacher. That is a kindergarten teacher, someone that's a female, has feminine energy that can corral those kids. So she is the glue for me for that movie for making it work, because he replaces her and she has to even guide him. Like they have that scene where you should be reading the stories about bears that go shopping, and that's a key pivotal turning point of that movie where he has to put down his ego and listen to his partner who he did not want. Typical 90s action cop movie. I don't have a partner. I work alone, right? So she, with her guidance, she helps him grow and sink into the role of kindergarten cop. And without her, he doesn't work. And without the actress, the movie falls apart.
I totally agree. And I feel like maybe they initially might have put her in. It's just like a throwaway thing to be able to explain, like you said, like why it makes sense for them to send him on an undercover mission as a teacher, kindergarten teacher. It's ridiculous. But like, her, and I don't know if they even really gave her all that much to do, but what she did with what they gave her was all incredible. When they sit down to dinner, she just puts on that accent. And whatever. Like that's one of the best parts.
And she matches Arnold's charisma and energy. And not only matches it, but she upstages him a few times, which is hard to do. Arnold needs that, because when he's too alone, he gets too much freedom and it kind of falls apart. So he needs it. Like, look at Danny DeVito in Twins. Danny DeVito makes him perform up. He performs up of Danny, and Danny.
See that. That makes sense.
That's so true.
Honestly, this is the first time I've really kind of made that connection. I appreciate you saying that, because now I'm looking at other, like the Arnold movies, And it's so true because like Stallone always has like somebody that matches Stallone. Like, you know, like he is gonna beat a Drago. He's gonna be, you know. That's so true though. Arnold always goes after the non-Arnold. Like and it works.
Yeah,
Conan the Barbarian. Like what's more opposite than him than
James Earl Jones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, but again, I really like your insight on that is really spot on. Like I honestly like Leonard Maltin, eat your heart out. And I'm glad you brought up twins too, because as a kid, I loved twins. You know, I was born in '84, so twins came out in like '88. So I'm probably 4 or 5 watching twins, you know, a year or two before Kindergarten Cop. So it's like I knew Arnold could do comedy, but to me, twins has not aged nearly as well as Kindergarten Cop. And I do like twins still. I mean, how can you not like a movie with Arnold, Danny DeVito, and Kelly Preston?
Right.
But Kindergarten Cop is just like the magical one to me. Like,
well, I think it's just a more exciting, better written, funnier. It's not even a right movie.
More entertaining.
Right? Well,
they're both. I mean, twins is too.
Yeah.
Well, it's also right on your nose too. We all know what it's like to be in kindergarten.
Yeah, sure.
Every single person who's ever watching a movie, I assume,
that's true.
Maybe 99.7% probably know what it's like to be in kindergarten.
Is this the most like low stakes Arnold movie? Like as far as like the plot and everything else, like or maybe
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
with that big time. That's a dude like Crisp again. Crisp is such a threat. I was so like the nightmare scene that he has is so scary, and I remember being like, dude, like first of all, the when Arnold has the beard in the beginning of the movie. So it's like, dude, the stakes are high. Within the first 5 minutes, we're getting a murder. The stakes are high. We're getting.
I just meant like I should have said. I should have said.
They really go for the action side of this. They don't like kidify it.
That's what I'm saying.
They really balance the scales well. Like
that's what I'm saying. They gave your dad what he needs to see, and he gave us what we needed to see, and it worked. You know,
I wouldn't even be surprised.
My dad's review for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was. Hey, look, he was still a cop, and he was still rough around the edges, but it was still a family movie.
Yeah. Although, Steve, what you were saying though, like at the time, like risk wise, this was a huge risk for Arnold to do. Maybe not as much with twins. He had already kind of done the comedy, like he could do a comedy, but. At the time, if you look at reviews, people were like, "Oh God, no, not what are you doing?" Like, what?
Well, yeah. As soon as you put kids into the mix too, right? It brings it down another level to a lot of people that think that maybe, this is now he's just doing these family, friendly. Whatever. Like, if you see this again, this movie does have teeth to it. Like, it's
Right.
I'm gonna add a wrinkle here, though. Right. I think Kindergarten Cop is instrumental to the level of success that T2 had just a year later. And 100%. There's even a scene in the movie Look Who's Talking 2 where John Travolta's taking the kids to the movies and he's doing the kid I lost my shoe, I'm gonna get free movie tickets scam, free popcorn, whatever, blah blah blah. And the kids are wanting to see Total Recall, the Total Recall poster. And Travolta does a bad Arnold impression. He's like, "Yeah, see my movie, do it. Oh, don't you think they're a little too old? Yeah, Arnold says you're too young, blah blah blah." So those kids with those parents, they all saw Kindergarten Cop. Those kids were now aware of Arnold, and they had to see T2. I think T2 was probably the most, like, I'm taking my toddler to an R-rated movie in the history of the movie business. I'm telling you, I can't. Maybe Deadpool is comparable, but I don't think so.
Well, how did this do overall?
Oh, Kindergarten Cop was a huge hit. A huge hit. So, like I said, that's part of why T2 is just, a year later, such a big success. But we are past the half-hour mark. It is pitch time. What do you want to see? What don't you want to see in the Kindergarten Cop?
I'll tell you what I don't want to see. There is only one Kindergarten Cop movie. There is no Kindergarten Cop 2. You can tell me that there is. You can sit there and preach to me that there is. And I like you, Dolph Lundgren. However, there is one Kindergarten Cop movie, period.
Thank you for the soapbox.
Has anyone
I
seen
will say
this
is,
too?
No, I haven't.
I have. I watched it today.
I'm never
going
to watch that. To heck, Steve, get out of here.
I will give us 5 seconds on Kindergarten Cop 2.
No.
For those that are curious.
Rich,
have you seen Kindergarten Cop 2?
Hell no! Come on.
Okay, all right. There. Thank you.
That was direct to video, right?
Yes.
Yeah, screw you.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, get out of here. That is not-
Dolph doesn't belong on the big screen.
All right, so Chris, tell us give us a pitch, elevator
So
pitch.
my
Let's hear
5-second
it.
review of Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren and the great Bill Bellamy. They are good people who meant well, but maybe didn't have what it takes to see this one across the finish line, folks. It feels like it was made not just for direct-to-video. It feels like it was written for television. And by television, I mean Nick. And not the good teen Nick days, but like the ABC Family changing its name to Freeform Nickelodeon days. Like it's really just, it's not good, folks. I'm sorry. It's, you know, like many things from 2016, it's best left in the past. But that's another story for another day. So yeah, Kindergarten Cop 2, you can probably file it with what I imagine Cop and a Half 2 New Recruit must have felt like to everyone. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. Nothing better. Nothing worse, but definitely nothing better. Yeah. Oh, well, that's yeah. Oh. So there are some pitches in the chat here, and I see the great Gold's Code has already got us started off here. And I just want to remind everyone at home that there are no rules to our pitches. They could take place at any point in time. Arnold could be young, he could be old, he could have a buddy, he could have a new partner, he could be the principal. Anything you want to happen could happen. You want to pitch the 1992 version of Kindergarten Cop 2 that we should have gotten, by all means. But Gold's Code starting us off in the live chat with his pitch. Mitchell is forced to teach as part of his punishment in the race. Only it's as the Preps Elementary School. Now he must teach real lessons while avoiding revenge in Kinderborn. So there's our Airborne crossover for the day. Anything, you know, I thought you were going to go with Air Cop like you did on Facebook, but that's okay. We may get Mitchell kicking ass and taking names a little bit later in the chat. Also, Whiskey 41 with a pitch. Arnold is happily back in the classroom, but when a SWAT tank rams the wall and kills the classroom gerbil, Arnold seeks revenge. Steven Seagal, I will get you for what you did to our gerbil. Oof.
Two thumbs up.
Yeah, Seagal's the villain. Actually, that's perfect.
Was the point to kill the gerbil? Was it just like an accidental thing? Did he like was he driving a tank?
It's like John Wick. It doesn't matter. It activates him and he goes.
I kind of want a Steven Seagal Arnold movie. I can't lie to you.
Their careers have brushed against each other because you know, not only is Seagal one of the only action legends in quotation marks to not do the Expendables movies, but he was the original 20th Century Fox choice to replace Arnold in Predator 2 as the lead. And director Stephen Hopkins had to meet with Seagal, and he's like, I just hated this guy so much, I did anything to not, you know, go forward with that. So we wound up with the great Danny Glover, who's too old for this shit, but hey, we still enjoyed it nonetheless. But Predator 2 is no Predator 1. Although if it did star Steven Seagal, you could have called it Predator TOO, and that would have been cute. But there are more pitches in the chat, of course. Let's see. Angie Saunders with a pitch. Dominic grew up to be a school teacher like his mom, but a student ends up in trouble and he seeks help from Detective Kimball. They work hard and go through some mischievous adventures as they try to save the young student, and they end up becoming cops.
Okay.
Oh,
who's playing teacher Dominic?
Well, I think the idea would be to find the OG Dominic and, like, you know, here, kid, it's been you know, 30. It's been 34 years now.
Did any of you see that not too long ago?
What?
There was they had gotten
the reunion.
They'd gotten a lot of the kids to do a like a Zoom reunion and stuff like that. And midway through, Arnold pops up in there and actually says hi to all the kids.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, which was actually kind of awesome for him to do that. Like, because all the kids were like, well, they're not, I mean, they're old now, but they were all just like, what? Because none of them knew that he was going to show up, you know. So
that's awesome.
I got to look that up on YouTube.
Oh, it's a beautiful video if you watch it. I mean, you know, and they're just literally they're sharing the stories of what it was like on the set and what they remember about Arnold, and they're all saying how much they love him and they, you know, this and that. He was so great to us, and then all of a sudden, boom, he pops up at the bottom of the screen.
I had one of the kids. He's an adult now. Reached out to me on Instagram. He was the one that says, my dad works on computers and stuff, and or he's one of the kids that, you know, in there, and he reached out. He was happy that I was doing what I was doing, and that the impression was perfect. And
that's beautiful,
man.
Really cool moment, dude. Yeah, it was cool.
That is cool.
Oh man, that is so cool.
Well, we second his sentiments, Rick.
Oh,
yeah, we do. Yeah,
was this movie, like, you know, on the scale of like Arnold voice training? I mean, how high was this? This must have been like one of the best go-to movies for like
Absolutely.
lines and pronunciations and
Yeah.
like
Well,
one thing I always caught as a kid, he doesn't say the word three. It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah. And four. It's not FOUR, it's four, FOA. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Much too reading, writing, arithmetic. Too much homework makes me sick. When it's time to pass
Oh my God.
the garden is the best. Yes. The best challenge was my dad was always, calling out the obscure stuff and the things that would tickle my dad. So if my dad was laughing, I was like, I need to try to learn that to make him laugh again. So when he says, "You did very good. You did very well," it's strange. The way he says that. Your sheriff is proud of you. You did very good. You did very well. You have to really open up your throat for that one. That was hard to master.
Oh man, I will say though, again, credit to Ivan Reitman for this one, because there are even moments where like Arnold emotes in this, and it's pretty good. Like where he kind of goes blank talking about his son and stuff, and that's like actually kind of more acting than you've seen from Arnold at that point.
Yeah. There's some surprisingly,
He reads the book and he's real soft. He goes back to Twins. So Twins is another good well of Arnold because you need to do right. You need to do that, but you also need to have calm Arnold. Anywhere, I don't know. That whisper. You have to have that in the repertoire for a good Arnold. I did nothing. The pavement was his enemy. It's very important.
That's so true, though.
You're right, though. He kind of has good range in this. He really does. Like he's acting. He really is in this.
Another thing I have to shout out in this movie, though, the great Linda Hunt, who plays the principal, who is, again, another great opposite of Arnold type. She's incredible. What did it feel like to hit that son of a bitch? Her doing and this is right around the time of the great If Looks Could Kill with the incredible Richard Grieco, one of the finest actors to ever grace this earth. I just have to shout out Linda Hunt. She's a great staple of early 90s movies, and I want to say she might actually still be with us. I could be wrong, though. I saw her on TV just a few years ago.
Really?
I think she passed away.
Did she finally pass?
Well,
That's a shame. But I would, if like my rule for a Kindergarten Cop sequel is if it's whatever time it takes place, if Linda Hunt is alive, she must be in it, even if it's just a cameo, even if it's just a whole. Like she played actually a homeless person in the movie $20, and she's fantastic. The movie opens up with her a slew of obscenities. Like,
that's her.
This is why I love our show.
There
are 15,000 movie YouTube shows. Only on VCR Redux will you get the mention of $20, a movie 5 people know.
I've seen that movie way more times than I'd care to admit. I'm not gonna lie.
That's because you live with me. And I just got to say, the cast of $20 for you all feel stupid. It's got Brendan Fraser, Christopher Lloyd, Steve Buscemi, Elizabeth Shue. The cast is fucking incredible. Matt Brewer, Brendan Fraser. I'm drawing a blank here. There's
it's basically an anthology movie where $20 goes from person to person, and you get their little vignette. And
hey, spoilers! Spoiler alert! But at any rate, there it is.
Yeah,
fantastic, incredible movie. Well worth. Yeah, absolutely. A great piece of the 90s. But getting back to Kindergarten Cop.
Right.
If we can have Linda Hunt back, she's back. I don't care how she does it, but she's back. I would, as I like to do often, I roll the time forward 30 years, 34 years. Arnold, in my mind, would have to be principal by now. And maybe there's a new young rookie hotshot cop
you're under the
coming
impression that after this ended, he continued working as a teacher. Let me ask you, Ian, you're a teacher, right? And in this particular one instance, that the principal was absolutely right in reacting the way she did and everything else. Now, if somebody in your school, the principal came to find out that they lied about their credentials and then they attacked a student's parent in the parking lot, what do you think would normally go down with that?
You'd be fired and arrested.
Okay. All right.
There's no reality.
In this one case, he was right.
Well, first off, you're not going to get an undercover cop to impose it's just not going to happen. The fundamental, again, and I know I'm the one who usually goes the reality route. I mean, would this ever happen, this scenario? No. at best you would get somebody who goes undercover as maybe a janitor. I mean, you wouldn't, but you can't put somebody in charge of the kids like that. But
well, it's not janitor cop; it's kindergarten cop.
well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
Well,
so
maybe the sequel could be
automatically you have to
janitor
kind of
cop.
check out your reality at at the door.
Can you imagine finding out that your kids have been taught all year by
Well, it's illegal.
School of
It's
Rock.
illegal.
It's basically the School of Rock, dude. It's the same movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Oh my God.
Good
yeah.
point,
Except
yeah.
School of Rock.
Yeah, but,
School of Rock is basically this movie without any of the fun parts, of course.
So if you take that part out, like the for Kindergarten Cop, and I'm going to say Kindergarten Cop 2, for Kindergarten Cop 2 to happen, I think it'd be great to see Arnold today, and it is a come out of retirement as a cop for some reason, but make it more realistic that he did get his teaching credentials.
Oh.
And tried it for a couple of years, but then left to do other things. So
almost like a Dangerous Minds, where it was like a troubled youth class.
yeah, like I love the idea
Come out of
of actually
retirement
being
to
a
get
licensed
to get him in
teacher.
line, and he's basically the substitute too, but also
I was just saying,
Honestly, nothing would have been more 90s pandering than like Kindergarten Cop 2 with a New Jack Swing beat, and it's like now Arnold's in the
we've been
hood.
spending most our lives living in the
oh,
Yo, Kimball,
yes.
you whack. It's Yo Teach
minute.
from the movie Funny People. It's
Right.
it's that scene where it's Yo Teach. Yeah. Word.
Word.
But I would love it. I would totally watch the shit out of that. Like
Yeah.
hanging with Mr. Cooper, but hanging with Mr. Schwarzenegger. Like, why not?
Yeah.
It'd be incredidible. Arnold's raising the stakes in the hood and warming hearts. And
I mean, so let's connect it. Let's say like you'd kind of said Dominic, how Dominic plays into it is maybe Dominic followed his dad's path.
No,
And now
no.
it's
now we're talking.
because now you got Arnold needs to fix because
oh yeah,
I would
it's
say
trouble
Arnold-
at drama at home. Yeah, things are
because
spicy.
I would say Dominic. I would say they divorced. I'm
Right.
going to
And
just
that's
be
what-
realistic
that's what
about
started-
it.
That's
like,
what led him down this darker path.
yeah, like
only
he went to be a teacher.
right?
They got divorced. He stopped being a teacher because it got too hard.
Oh,
and he went back to
even
being a
worse.
cop.
Mom died, so then his relationship with the son with Dominic got fractured.
Oh, and it was
Dominic-
too hard. It was too hard for him to stick
It's
around.
too hard.
No,
Yeah.
Penelope
Dominic-
Ann Miller turned into her character from Adventures in Babysitting. She just became a jerk. All right, that's what happened. All
That
right,
was-
or
I
she
can
turned
see the
into-
trailer.
this is
now.
my house.
But,
You
I can see
moved.
the trailer.
the hard part's getting him back in a kindergarten classroom.
So
and
here's the
without
thought.
that, you have
Well, that's what I'm
nothing.
saying. It's Dominic's. It's his grandkid.
Here's the thought.
Okay.
What if,
It's like that Karate Kid show.
yeah,
Right,
now,
yeah.
here's- interesting you say that.
Yeah.
What if it's a show and not a movie, and Arnold is the principal now, but like that's kind of your jumping off. You don't really even need Dominic. It's more about like Arnold is kind of he's got the kids touch because he's been doing it for so long, but it's like now time, and now he can't. It's like now the kids are too into the cell phones and the iPads and
the problem with Arnold becoming a teacher afterwards and then doing it for all these years and then becoming the principal and then the fun part about this movie is the whole fish out of water, him
Right.
figuring this out and the kids walking all like the part where he sits there and you can tell that he's been a cop that hasn't taken any shit in like his entire adult life and he doesn't I mean the dude just
Whose
doesn't give a
lunches
fuck.
are these?
Comes in, they start shooting at him, he doesn't even flinch, he just walks past their bullets to kill them in the beginning of the movie.
That's why
And,
I
like,
kind of want him.
He's
to,
never
That's why I want him to have tried the teaching thing, and he's got to go back into it. And Chris, I think you kind of said it there. How do you deal with kids today? I mean, like the kids of the 1990s, we were different than the kids I teach today. I mean, they're just a different group, and it would be interesting to watch, even at the kindergarten level.
Right,
The
he would
stuff
have to
that I'm
come
hearing
back
the
into it,
kindergarten
right,
kids say to teachers at my school, it would boggle your mind.
It blows up. Boys got a penis, girls got a vagina out of the
Well,
water.
no, but they'll say like I've literally heard, students, kindergarten students will say, "I don't have to do that homework. My parents said I don't have to." Like we'll say that to a teacher. I mean, I don't think any of us would ever in a million years I've ever said it.
No,
So
not a kid, no.
seeing Arnold dealing with Gen Alpha would kind of be funny.
Yeah.
Is that what it's
that's
called
true.
now? Gen Alpha?
It's Gen
Is
Alpha,
that
yeah.
we've gone XYZ now back to A? Okay.
Yeah,
I
now
guess
it's Gen
that's- you gotta-
Alpha.
So would the movie be
All
called
right.
Gen Alpha Cop? Is that
Gen Alpha Cop.
Gen Alpha Cop.
the world where there's no respect and division is at an all-time high? Arnold Schwarzenegger, what are you? You do not have any responsibilities. You do not have any respect. So he just blows up the school. Game over. That's you know.
That's beautiful. That's it.
Oh
That's the
man,
movie
yeah, that's
credits.
trailer voice too. Yeah, you've got
Yes.
the, like you do the
trailer voice is great.
like what's on his trailers? Like that's you
Yeah.
can put that guy out of business. Shit, man,
Yeah, dude.
incredible. Wow, I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten more rollerblading
Oh,
pitches.
and
in
what
the
a
chat.
trailer! Because remember the last Action Hero trailer where he's holding the Hamlet, he's holding the York.
Oh, yes, yeah,
the
yeah,
Yorick.
yeah.
Right.
Do that as the trailer for this, where Arnold's back in the classroom.
It's interesting now that you say
Study
it like
now.
that. I never even thought about how much Last Action Hero is like a version of Kindergarten Cop that didn't connect with audiences. Like I love Last Action Hero, but
Yeah, I'm a
Kindergarten
fan,
Cop
too.
was a huge hit, and Last Action Hero was not a huge hit.
It was rushed. And, yeah, I wasn't a fan because I was my target age, and I was my dream and fantasy to be in a movie with Arnold. And I went and watched that movie with such excitement, and I was let down big time.
Well, I think part of it is Austin O'Brien is not a very likable kid. It's not to give him a hard time or anything like that. He was a good actor in a lot of '90s things, but I think like after you're coming off of Eddie Furlong in T2, then now it's like Austin O'Brien on a bicycle. You got Eddie Furlong on a dirt bike, and then you got Austin O'Brien on a Schwinn, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a big downgrade.
I
And,
feel like Austin O'Brien's like the Walmart version of something like he's
Oh, there's pitches in the chat. I've been told. I've been looking. I haven't seen them, but my mistake here. I'll get to them. Okay. Sorry. My producer's telling me to not disrespect the pitches. So my apologies. I see Michael Ricci has one in the chat. John Kimball is back, and the tables have turned. Now he's hooked on the sauce and gets fired as a cop and a teacher. He turns to a life of crime. His partner's eating so much food he has to go out to rob banks in California and runs right into Utah. Give me 2. Utah infiltrates his gang and takes Kimball down from the inside when there's a bomb on the bus. Kimball defuses the bomb and saves the day over Utah and gets voted in as governor the next day in K-Cop. Governator. Wow. I did not see that one coming, but I love the combination of the Speed franchise.
Yeah, how many movies were in that?
Well, there's Speed and Kindergarten Cop. I think that's it, right?
Is that it? No.
Was there a third one in there? Oh, yeah. Point
Johnny
Break.
Utah? Point
Sorry.
Break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point Break and Speed. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Point Break and Speed. We just did Point Break too. Wow. Well,
I thought you
played
meant how
there.
many Speed movies are there? There's only one.
There's only one,
Also-
right?
There's only one.
There isn't a
movie.
Speed movie with a pun in the title. There isn't. That isn't.
No.
Cruise Control.
Right?
There's a pun in the title.
So there's also Whiskey 41 has a pitch. His pitch, Cafeteria Cop. In Arnold voice, kids, you have to get your protein. Don't forget to eat your vegetables. You need fiber. So if you want to be so kind, I don't know if you could read the chat or not.
I can't, but I'll just go off. What is your number? Give me. You don't have a ticket? Go get your ticket. You do not get other people's lunches. You get your own lunches. All right. You need a lot of fiber. Here, you need a protein shake. Here, you need 2 scoops. Here's your little schnapps. No, that one's for me.
Yes.
Oh my God. Again, sir, we are not worthy.
Not
We are
worthy at
not
all.
worthy. Holy shit. Yeah, fucking A. Whiskey 41 says, you are eating too many cookies, too much fruit by the foot. And also a pitch from Rand. His pitch, Arnold is in a retirement home and the kids are running it and a brother of the bad guy comes after him and the kids take him down. I actually kind of like that. The tables have turned. Now Arnold and maybe a bunch of old cop types are, the Expendables are all in a retirement home.
I miss the plots where there's I miss plots where family members come after. I think Die Hard with a Vengeance ruined that, but
You're never gonna.
if I don't miss that.
You're never gonna get
Hold
Arnold
on.
to agree to be like, all right, so you're a geriatric man who's been put in a home.
Oh, you might. I think the
might.
Expendables are ready to wear their Dependables and do a movie role that would be commendable.
That's good.
This is the man that did The Last Stand. Remember this, all right? You can get a guy to do anything.
That's true. He was.
Hey, the light is green, then the check is.
He
clean.
will and always will be Mr. Freeze.
Right? Yeah. I mean, come on. He did Mr. Freeze. Like, come on. He did The Big Chill, and he's not gonna, he's not gonna do this.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Party. Oh, man. Chill.
I still think it's crazy. I talk about this every time Batman and Robin comes up, that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a Batman movie where there was a Bane, and Arnold didn't play Bane. Like, what the fucking fuck? Like, we could have just had Christopher Lloyd as Mr. Freeze, and Arnold played Bane.
Yeah, you're right.
Arnold would have been amazing as Bane. Like, it would have been perfect. Like,
you're talking about the big hulking guy that's supposed to have the weird voice. Yeah, he would have been terrible.
Just give him those Tom Hardy lines. Like, like, why would you shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane? Like, Arnold would make that incredible.
Gotham, take your city back.
Bane telling Batman to stick around as he stabs him onto a wall, and like, come on, dude.
Batman, have you come back to save your city? No.
Yes,
we should do that one.
Oh my God, dude!
I was born in the dark. You merely adopted it.
Yes.
Oh my. Oh, that's forget Kindergarten Cop too. We need Dark Knight with Arnold.
Yes.
That's it. That's what we're pitching today, folks.
Oh my God, that's it. Arnold is Bane teaching kindergarten with the mask, and he's going insane. Oh God, I love it. This is everything. This is everything that Batman
You're gonna get a time
needs.
machine and go back and tell Joel Schumacher, this is what's gonna happen. Keep doing what you're doing.
I was sent from
take off the nipples and you make Arnold Bane. That's it.
That's it. And we got this, man. And we got this.
Oh my God, that's it. We're rewriting history and we're fixing it one Arnold flick at a time here. Wow, this is incredible. I think we hit all the pitches in the live chat. I'm again surprised there wasn't a little bit more of like a 90s, like what are the other 90s pitches? Like, there would have been the rollerblading one. That's kind of the most 90s thing possible. Like the the skate, the what?
Yeah, hockey was big. Hockey.
Oh yeah.
You could have made Kindergarten Cop into a series. You could have had 5th grade Cop. You could have had high school Cop.
Right. You could,
college Cop.
Well,
I mean,
what
if Arnold really wanted to do it, he could have made it into that.
In the series where Arnold's the principal, think of him like the Mr. Feeney. So every episode, the kids have to talk to Arnold and get like the life wisdom from him that sets them right with whatever's going on, right?
Like a tweed jacket with like elbow patches and
totally.
I mean, if
he's gardening, he's over the fence like Wilson in Home Improvement. That's the show. That's what I want. Yeah.
If you have him kind of like at a point in his life where he's not really differentiating his new softer school based, dealing with kids side and his old rugged detective, shoot first, ask questions later side, and those are kind of now meshing a little bit. I mean, it could have wound up being a little sad too, but also there's a lot of comedy to mine from that.
Can't you see him in the backyard hunting like squirrels or something like in his downtime?
Yeah, he's just trying to
Yeah, but he's hunting squirrels with like a rocket launcher. Like he's kind of lost it a little bit. He's sort of commando.
Cop.
He's throwing.
Elementary Cop should have been the next one. Junior high cop. Yeah, high school cop. And you got if you had the kids the same, like grow as the movie same kids,
changing.
That would have been amazing.
His job so that he can keep teaching the same class of kids.
Yeah,
we've had the same teacher since we were in kindergarten. He's teaching us now in junior high.
It's like some weird Billy Madison type of thing where he just keeps changing the grade. That's kind of cute.
All you have to do is call it Boy Meets Universe or Boy Meets Mr. Universe instead of Boy Meets World. You just call it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because he was Mr. Universe. Holy shit.
Yeah, you got there real late.
Wow. Yeah, I got there late, but I am the master.
I love how you tried to be Arnold by showing off those wicked little guns.
Oh, I know those like 2-inch like pea shooters, like All right, well, it's a sad day,
Chris.
All right, well, it's a sad day to be me, but it's a good day to be Americans because we pitched you all so many Kindergarten Cop sequels. I don't know how you can handle yourselves. You're gonna have to stop, cop, and roll. But before we say goodnight, I always do want to let everyone, on the panel here, if you have anything coming up you want to let the people know about, or even just want to let the people know where to follow you on social media. Anyone, whoever wants to go first?
I'd like to give my time to Rich here to do whatever he's going to do before we exit.
You all know where to find me. So what I want to do is just tell you that you're all fantastic, you're all beautiful, and this planet is great, and we need to take care of each other, all right? But if you ever just get frustrated, you just do one thing. Go into a corner, all right? Close the door and say, and you will feel better, I promise. Bye.
Yes.
On Instagram, GeekFireInk on Instagram, GeekFireInk.
You will not be disappointed.
I have music on Spotify as Arnold. We're bringing Arnold back. Oh,
that's right. The Backstreet Boys. I Want It That Way. Oh, eat my heart out. That
Full album is coming. Full album is coming. I promise. I'm working on it.
Oh my God.
Yankovic meets Adam Sandler kind of CD.
I
Spotify.
I know what I'm doing after this show tonight.
If you ever need songwriters for a follow-up album, please, I will send you "Let Off Some Steam." Yeah, that needs to be sung. That needs to be sung by Arnold.
We got you.
All right. Well, since Steve's heated his time, Ian, any articles coming out or any announcements, book-wise, anything like that?
Yes. At Fandom Spotlight, you can real soon. There's another B movie article for a. What movie did I write about? I don't even know anymore.
Riveting.
That was great.
No. The Incredible Petrified World, a movie made in 4 days with 95% stock footage.
Man, you finally reached a point where even you don't know what the fuck kind of bullshit you're talking about anymore, man. Like, Jesus Christ, the shit you're heaping on everyone.
I know. But if this week at newfangledpress.com, you can get your copy of Lucky by Ian Klink, my novel that just came out this week. So it is available. And pretty soon here, if you're wanting an autographed copy, I will let you know how to get that. So, but those
where can they get it again?
Where
can you buy it?
Newfangledpress.com.
Okay.
All right. Hit him with the double plug. Good call, Steve, on the reminder there. I'm looking forward to getting myself an autographed copy of that, sir.
That's why I asked,
and then maybe I'll give you your Richard Mazer autograph I picked up for you, but maybe I won't. Anyway,
Richard Mazer and Arnold. That's the movie we're missing in this world.
The buddy cop movie of my dreams.
He's the principal. Forget Linda Hunt. Give me Richard Mazer as the principal and Arnold as that. There we are.
Well, until we have the technology to give you that, you Fandom fans might want to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we cut extra deep for our Kroll episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, the best way to help is to smash that like button and leave a comment telling us what movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux.
Not Kroll.
And since you're doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow GeekFireInk, Fandom Spotlight, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.